Hey everybody, it's Georgia Rose from Zencuda. I'm back after quite a few months of being on hiatus. And there is, of course, a story to that, which I'll tell in my next video. But today I'd like to talk about the full moon in Pisces because it is a lunar eclipse and this really packs a wallet. So let's go right over the chart so that I can go through it with you and tell you everything you need to know about how to handle this major transit. So I'm just going to share my chart. Okay, you should see that popping up any second. There you go. So this full moon in Pisces, you can see the moon is right over here. Um, and it is actually right next to the north node of the moon, which just went into Aquarius. So when the node of the moon went into Aquarius, it ended a lot of the Pisces stories that we had for the last 18 months. But for many of us born in the 60s, especially from 1956 to 1972, we have Pluto in Virgo. And if you notice, Pisces is across the zodiac from Virgo. So this Pluto-Virgo axis has been in play for many of us really for a lifetime. So the last few months have been really intense as this North Node in Pisces, which is the North Node and the nodes of the moon are arcs of development for us. They really show us our evolution, our soul's path. And so, with that happening in the last 18 months in Pisces, it's been dredging up a lot of the life lessons that we have from the Pisces Virgo axis in our chart. Pluto and Virgo energy, for those of us born between 1956 and 1972, is a lot of energy about perfectionism, about hypercriticalism, being hypercritical. Maybe you're hypercritical because growing up you were criticized a lot. Or perhaps you just look at the world with a very critical eye. And it makes you seek perfection, but we don't find perfection, so we get hypercritical. It can also be a lot of existential guilt, like we're running our lives and looking for our self-worth by what we do for people. You know, that feeling where you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh boy, I better do this, that, or the other thing, or somebody's going to be pissed off. But you're not really living your authentic life, doing what you want to do. That's typical of the Virgo Pisces axis. And for so many of us walking the planet right now who have Pluto in Virgo, it's been very heightened in energies in our life. For the last 18 months, those energies and where that energy has really been living and embodied in us has come into play. Well, this moon in Pisces eclipsing the North Node means that a lot of that energy is ending. And what's happening is we're being able to see these patterns in our life and we want to let go of them, we want to release. We may even feel very disoriented or very dislocated and overwhelmed because we've been living in these patterns for so long and now the energy is so heightened in trying to remove them from our life and disintegrate them and release them that it can be really overwhelming because we don't know what to cling to when that energy from the past is starting to dissolve, those relationships that followed that patterning in our life of we have to, do something in order to be loved, or we have to accept a little bit of abuse or imperfection in someone in order to, make it real for us. And so now in this energy, this is the finalization of a lot of that Pisces kind of energy. And the overwhelm comes in because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. With the full moon eclipsing the North Node in Aquarius there, Aquarius is new energy coming in. It's pioneering energy. It's an energy that wants us to step into our purpose. So it's really about releasing that old Piscean format and those Virgo Pisces energies in our life. So wherever these signs are in your chart, that's where things are really, really heightened right now. And you may even have other planets playing into that. But there's a few other things going on I want to talk about in a minute. But first, I just want to finalize this thought about the Pisces energy. Pisces is an energy that creates overwhelm. It's the last sign in the zodiac. It's also the sign about source. It connects us to source. It's the idea that nothing is perfect, but we are all perfectly imperfect. And that the energy of deep, soulful connection exists everywhere, and that we're all one. So you can see how the Virgo and Pisces energy is very different, but yet the theme is the same. Virgo is a lot about separating what's good from what's not so good. This time of year when the sun is in Virgo, it's about the harvest, separating the wheat and the vegetables and the things from what's dying. And Pisces is about returning it to source so that it can bloom again. So, in an energy like this, when we have a release and a letting go of a lot of patterns and a lot of Piscean and Virgo themes in our life, it's really intense because this is about the last sign of the zodiac. It's about final stories and final endings. And then we have Uranus, the planet that just went into Gemini a few months ago, actually in June, late June, is aspecting this eclipse. So, what's Uranus, the planet of sudden change and awareness, is doing when it touches this eclipse and having a conversation with the moon in the North Node is it is creating a big boom, a big distraction, a big event that knocks things out of that Piscean energy. We actually see where this energy has been living in our life. And this event that will occur, or maybe it already has occurred for you, it has for me, is going to bring you an awareness of exactly this energy and how you can no longer live with it. It's over, it's done, it's ended. That existential guilt, that struggle with healthy emotions and boundaries, that feeling of spiritual isolation, that no one really gets us and we're so lonely. And we're in a relationship where things are not coming into connection. They're not perfect. They're so imperfect. And now it's in our face and we can't just like gloss over it anymore. This is about feeling that suffering that we've been in, and now it's ending because this Uranus is creating a disruption in our life that makes us see it with clarity. This is about the compensations that we use to get along and make things okay. And okay, we feel guilty, so let me go do this. Then they'll shut up. Oh, I'm obligated to do this particular thing, even though I hate it. This doesn't sit well with me, but I'm going to do it because I just don't know any other way. All those things now are really coming into deep, clear focus. And they have been since the beginning of this year, but now they're undeniable. Now, this eclipse and the lunation in the North Node in Aquarius is such new energy, and all the major signs in the zodiac have changed signs. So it's brought us into this new place. And we also have the asteroid Fomalhaut playing into this astrology, which is about an intense feeling of where we can connect with divine higher power and wisdom. And then through that North Node in Aquarius, bring it into the material world. So, whatever the event or the distraction or the disruption that you've had in your life or that is coming in for you, it's really about now you're awake. Now you're seeing everything. And that's why Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. Those relationships that made us accept someone making us feel less than we are, those even familial relationships, children, spouses, parents that just don't see us, we can no longer live in that. And that's part of the axis of now the North Node being in Aquarius and the South Node being in Leo. We're going from fighting for someone to see us and see who we really are and that external validation that we need. Now we're switching that because of this, whatever's been disrupted in our life. And now we see that the whole picture, the clarity, is really about we validate ourselves. That child that we've been allowing to run our life that wants daddy to see us, daddy, look what I got on my homework. Mommy, look, I cleaned my room so good. That child is dissolving and we're coming into a new evolution of being adults in our life where, you know what, that person doesn't see me, but that's okay because I have people in my life that do. And I see myself and I know my truth. And I no longer need to find resolution by doing everything I can to get you to see me. Now the resolution is here within myself. I see myself. I know what's real. I know what's true. And I know what truth looks like. And so we no longer are looking for resolution in the forgiveness from another. We no longer have to forgive the other. It's instantaneous because now we forgive ourselves for being there, for allowing these things in our life. And this is really intense work. It's an intense culmination of that Piscean energy where, just going to look down at my notes, I'm sorry, where these deeper revelations and understanding of what it is to be seen and also what it is to be hidden and what is hidden and what has been hidden in our life. Where are those things that we have hidden that are really disruptive to us and that don't allow us to come into our beautiful authenticity? The authenticity of that North Node, which is now in Aquarius, which wants us to go out and be the pioneer of our own life and see each of us for what we really are. And the way that we can embody this also is to allow ourselves to see others. One of the things that I've been trying to practice after 2 months of being homebound and now going out in the world a little bit is even the supermarket cashier, like talking to them. There was a young man who was a supermarket cashier checking me out the other day at the market, and he seemed so down and really hating his job. So when it was my turn, I looked at him and I said, "Don't you just love your job?" And he said, and I wasn't being sarcastic, I was trying to bring something out in him. And he said, "Huh, yeah." He goes, "I was going to school for welding, but it fell through." And I said, "I'm thinking of going for electrical." And I said, "Oh, that's a great career." I said, "My nephew is in the welding union and he's laid off a lot. So maybe that was a good thing that happened to you. Look into that electrical because I bet you that's going to be a really great thing for you. And just, love what you do because if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life." And he cheered up and his whole energy changed. Why? Because I saw him. And in seeing him, I was seen because he was really connecting and having a conversation with me. That's how we heal these wounds, these Piscean, these Virgo, Pluto and Virgo wounds of, am I really being seen? The Leo energy of the South Node in Leo in this eclipse that says, I need to, bang a drum and throw a tantrum or yell really loud to be seen by someone. That's false. It's illusions in our life. The way we're really seen is to be authentically who you are. And that's what this lunar eclipse in Pisces on August 28th and 29th, depending on where you live, is going to push you into, and it's already been doing that. We all have these major disruptions in our life, these releases, this release of existential guilt. We don't need to wake up every day and fill our day with things that we need to do to keep everybody happy. We need to make ourselves happy and be authentic. Selfish enlightenment, right? Enlightened selfishness, whichever way you want to say it. We're in a world right now where everything is super accelerated, and yet this eclipse is at the final sign of the zodiac. Now we begin fresh energy with Neptune, here you see it, and Saturn being in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. What is this doing? It's connecting, as you can see here, with this energy and with this Uranus energy to bring it all together for us so that our illusions are no longer there. We have naked lucidity because the compensations in our life, the things that we are putting in front of ourselves to make everything palatable that we're choking on, are now dissolving. Our compensations are dissolving. And now we've got to look at ourselves in the naked light. And we have that naked lucidity to do it now because Neptune has destroyed the illusion. In Aries, it says, move forward. Where do you really want to take up space in your life? And Saturn is the great teacher that is saying to us, even now while it's retrograde and making us go within, is saying to us, not only where do you want to take up space, but how are you going to structure that? Let me give you the parameters, the framework to bring it into reality, this beautiful North Node in Aquarius. So in short, what's happening here? We got to be brave to move forward. I will tell you that because the overwhelm is real. We're releasing tremendous lifetimes of energy that has kept us down, that has kept us downtrodden, that has kept us in loops and paradigms and pathology of our psyche that has made us create complexes and create behaviors that are protecting us from not coming into authenticity. And I'm going to ask you, why wouldn't you want to be authentic in this world? Drop those illusions, drop those protections, and show up for who you really are. That's what Leo and Aquarius, where the nodes of the moon will be for the next 18 months, are asking of us. That's what this full moon in Pisces, which is right up against that lunar node in Aquarius, is asking of us. And the Piscean complexes, and the guilt, and the martyrdom, and go into who you really are to thrive. And then we have one more thing, if all that wasn't enough, happening in this eclipse in Virgo. Sound familiar? We were just talking about Virgo. The sun is right up here against Mercury. It's called a Cazimi. The sun and Mercury are coming together. Now, why would God, the universe, give us that beautiful energy during this really intense time? To help us, to illuminate intellectually and in our communications, in our thought processes, the way we communicate, the way we solve a puzzle. The sun is lighting that area of ourselves up so that we can actually intellectually see the path forward and be brave enough to go into it. That beautiful Virgo sun is showing us how to separate the wheat, the goodness, the nourishment from the chaff that needs to be thrown away. So throw away those Pisces complexes. Come into a space in your life where you can truly, truly, truly be authentic and allow yourself to be brave enough to let go of the guilt, let go of the areas that isolate you, let go of those things that hold you back from being authentic. And a lot of that is going to be, oh, maybe I should go backwards. Maybe I should regress a little bit into that little child that wants daddy to see the homework and mom to see I clean my room and my partner to see me for who I am. And maybe if I just try this, and maybe if I just try that, maybe if I wear this dress or fix my hair, or maybe if I speak in this certain way, or maybe if I don't ask about that anymore. No, it's not going to work. You have to be authentically you. That's what you came here to do. And we're getting pushed and pulled in all directions as that inner child wants to be healed. For those of us born in the 1960s and also in the early 2010s, we have Chiron in Pisces. That's where the wound is. We are working that inner child stuff a lot. But we can do it because we have a lot of energy in this chart and in this full moon lunar eclipse, even though it's a little bit hard, that's going to allow us now to end those stories once and for all. We've been talking about ending those stories for a long time. This lunar eclipse brings in a big event, a big distraction, or even just an awakening and a new perspective for you that really puts you in new energy. All the planets in the zodiac are in new signs now. The nose of the moon just changed to Leo Aquarius. This is all about the inner fire, igniting your future. And again, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It may just be that you have some beautiful new relationships in your life that are really going to bring you forward, or a new hobby, or a new job, or a new perspective, or a new place to live. But the old stories are gone. They're leaving. The past holds nothing for us anymore. We have to go into the future, and this lunar eclipse is going to push us into it. So one of the things that I will leave you with is this lunar eclipse. The way to work with it is it's going to interrupt the familiar patterns in our life. And that's hard because we don't have the new ones yet, maybe. They're not fully in place yet. So remember that forgiveness, that things that are, when you feel a need to get something from someone else in these patterns, and you feel yourself thinking about, well, maybe if I do it this way, or maybe if I try this, or maybe one more talk or one more communication, just remember surrender. The sun in Virgo really wants us to surrender. Virgo wants us to fix everything. With the sun and Mercury there, our minds will start to bargain and think of a way we can fix something. Oh, let me go over there and have the conversation. Let me call my mom and make it right. This isn't about fixing it. This is about surrendering into the fact that you are being brought somewhere new and that that old pattern is not going to work anymore no matter what you do. Unless you have a relationship where the other person is also going into a new pattern and it's a completely new relationship, then you may find a new ending and a new beginning. But the new beginning here is about all of ourselves doing the work within ourselves. So when you feel that overwhelm and you want to run back to that past pattern, just know that overwhelm is actually the universe telling you and showing you why that pattern doesn't work and bringing you into the newness of your life and really being authentically you. And I am really looking forward to coming into my own authenticity in an even bigger way. I hope I'm brave enough to do that. Send me some great juju to do it. And I hope that I hope that you all can do that too. And I'm sending all of you some beautiful, beautiful energy and bravery. That Leo lion heart is all about bravery and valor, where the south node of the moon is now. So, and Jupiter's still there too, expanding all that. So really tap into your lioness to move forward. Forget about those patterns that really didn't serve us. Surrender it all and go into a beautiful new Aquarian time where the North Node is going to show us our true path. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad to be back after almost a 4-month hiatus. And on my next video, I definitely will tell you guys why it took so long to come back and what's going on with me. Until then, if you want a private reading, I am booking readings now for September, October, and November. I will not be doing readings in December. So if you want to get in there or buy a gift certificate for anybody to have something over the holiday period, get in there now because it books up fast. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Happy full moon in Pisces and lunar eclipse.